Grant, they've all got a lot of funding. And that's one business model. But beyond that, we're seeing great take rates. We're taking great subscription rates. Netflix is absolutely just knocking the ball out of the park. So it's really exciting to see what their management team's been able to do in terms of recurring subscription revenue on that platform. And that's really, once again, one of those vanguard companies that's paving that business model for the rest of us. So the business models are there. Every day you'll see in the Wall Street Journal the numbers coming out of media companies, and they're very excited about the digital opportunity. We won't get too much into all the versioning control, but if you're a technical user, you're looking at this opportunity and going, this is very complicated. And so the big challenge here is just what devices you're going to support, on what platforms, and there's a lot of consultancy and things that go around that to help you sort that out. And so we're at All Digital, my company, we specialize a lot in this type of arena of helping match the service to devices. So we'll talk, this is an entire hour-long conversation on its own, but just wanted to bring it up as one of the challenges. So let's talk about, the final guidance here is you want to build your capabilities and platforms so they can be used across an array of devices. So don't try to silo or stovepipe into just, hey, we're going to do an iPhone app and get it out in a week, or get it out for a trade show. Really think about overall, what's your ability to interact programmatically with all these different devices, and what type of service plane and capabilities you're going to have around that. The data is paramount. We talked about that at length. The devices all have unique capabilities, so it's not just say, hey, we're going to have a website on the phone. We're going to have unique applications, and using this data and other things to really understand how we can inspire and reach that consumer at the end level. And then last is build a great product. It's no different whether you have a great-looking store and a great-looking storefront. I'm shocked, frankly, at sometimes how bad some of these really big brands execute on some of their apps and other things. They just think maybe it's throwaway work or whatnot, but I think it's a brand extension. And so just as much care and handling as you would give in the physical world to your product or service, you want to make sure that translates over into your mobile applications. Because if you have a bad experience for the consumer there, it's the exact same thing as having a bad consumer in the physical, bad experience for the consumer in the physical world. So really think through and really put a high quality of service target for your applications, both in terms of security and network performance. With that, what we wanted to do is open up for some questions, and we'll get some assistance here from our reader who will read in some of the questions coming in live.
First question is, what about iPad as a mobile platform?
Sure. So iPad as a mobile platform, absolutely. It's very portable, so I think it hits all their criteria. It's got unique characteristics that its screen size is a little bit bigger. The opportunity there, though, is you probably have to make some decisions. Are you going to build a native iPhone application, or are you going to adopt some of the standards-based work that Apple's doing around HTML5 and do more of a browser-based service that's works very well for that application? So absolutely, it's something to be considered. I would never tie your whole strategy to one single device or vendor. I would think about how you're going to play on lots of different devices and try to kind of put your stack, your software stack, what pieces belong in the client level and what pieces belong back in the server level. And for a good mobile strategy, you want as much of your foundation up in the cloud and make that repeatable across all the devices. If you make a very thick, heavy application that's very specific to one device, think about having to replicate that work thousands of times across different devices and get very inefficient. So think about how you make that process of rolling out the devices very efficient, even more so than just the unique capabilities of the iPad.
What requirements do carriers have regarding carrying mobile content?
So every carrier can be a little bit different, but the general kind of blanket statements are that they really think about the content in two ways. How does it attract consumers to their plans and their data plans, because that's a great business for them. And the second is, what does it do in terms of ARPU for them? And ARPU, remember, is that average revenue per user. So if you've got a service that either can help them sign up more customers and make those customers more sticky to their platform, or you got a service that generates more revenue per user per month. Both of those are win-win models.
Okay. What is the financial split that goes to all participants in the chain?
Well, studios will start off with their traditional, negotiating tact of 150% of all the profit to them. 150% of all the money gross to them. But usually you can negotiate down there. So really it comes back to how valuable your asset content game is, how much leverage you have with the carrier. If you're a first-time kind of unknown content owner waiting to be discovered, you can think about maybe getting 20% keep on your content rights to one of these large services after you pay off kind of all the other pieces of the value chain. If you're a major studio and you're negotiating, you can probably keep as much as 80, 85%.